What's going on, everybody? It's actually been quite some time since I done an actual podcast episode, like an actual podcast. So I'm gonna get straight to it. First of all, I'd like to say welcome to the Kingdom Concept podcast show, where we believe that Jesus is the movement. Jesus is the brand, and Kingdom Concept is the movement. So, I recently watched a movie, and the name of that movie was The Tomorrow War. Watching that movie, so the plot of the movie is the people in the future were attacked by aliens, and they were eradicating mankind from planet Earth. So, the whole world bonded together to make this one huge military force to try to stop the aliens from killing off mankind. So as I was watching that movie, I began to say, you know what? That's real life. Our generation, we are dealing with a whole bunch of issues. We deal with a whole bunch of problems and stuff, like generational curses and stuff. It's because we inherited these issues and problems from our grandparents, our aunties, dads, or whoever. They didn't fight their war during their time, so it passed off to the next generation. So we are actually fighting their tomorrow war. And if we don't be careful, and if we don't allow God to deal with those issues and deal with the isms and skills that we have developed on our own from our own lives, we can do the same thing to our offspring. They'll be fighting the war because we didn't go to God and we didn't ask him to give us a strategy onto how to clear the stuff from our spiritual DNA. Because all we doing is passing things off. We just passing the baton off. Just like somebody passed the baton to us, we are passing the baton to the generation that comes next. We have to really go back and ask God to show us the generational curses. And on this note, this is a kind of a sidebar. In this movie, there was a kid. I'm sorry if you haven't seen the movie. I'm sorry. I might be spoiling it for you, kind of, sort of. But in the movie, there was this kid, and he was obsessed with volcanoes. People in his class were sick of him. They were just tired of his obsession with volcanoes. Well, in the end, they actually needed his expertise to save the world. So I want to encourage everybody to hold on to your promise, to your gift, because sometimes people will be annoyed by your gift because they can't understand it. They might not like it because it's something that they can't control. But just know that God has placed something inside of you, and he will set the stage and purpose for you to be a solution to a problem that the world didn't even know that they had. But you have to walk in your purpose, not what your mama say you should be, not what your daddy say you should be, not what social media say you should be. Walk in your purpose, and you will find out what's inside of you that annoys everybody else. What's inside of you will be so explosively, astronomically, just throwing big words like that. But what you need will be the solution, the one and only solution. And God will set the stage at the appointed time. So don't try to rush it. Don't try to make it happen, because that's what we learn today in hustle culture. We learn to rush everything, push everything through, do everything today, get everything done today. And while we doing that, we are actually exhausting ourselves, and we are distracting ourselves and pushing ourselves away from the promise that God has for us. Now, on that note, remember, allow God to deal with you. Allow God to heal you. Allow God to just sit on the throne of your heart. Because a lot of times we go through life and we don't realize the stuff that we are carrying in our hearts. Because naturally we're taught, to bury it and to keep pushing and to keep moving through. So I want to encourage everyone to get closer to God. That's just it. The closer and closer you get to the sun, the more and more stuff's going to get burnt off of you, burnt off your life, and burnt out of your heart. So I will end this by saying, guys, make sure you guys are following us on Facebook. We are on Facebook now. Just look up Kingdom Concept or Kingdom Concept 365. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Kingdom Concept. Look us up on Instagram, Kingdom Concept. Look us up on Twitter, Kingdom Concept. And make sure you follow this podcast if you're listening on the podcast. So for now, enjoy the rest of your week. We are almost to the weekend. Tomorrow is that glorious Friday. We made it. Have a good day, y'all.